Hi, friends. As you know, this is already a new year. We're starting our life afresh. This 2021. I'm talking this with a conviction that I was born and brought up in a very small agriculture family, and I was studied in a government regular school, as most of you are. But I seriously think for the future to come, everyone need to think to become an entrepreneur for the years to come. When you look at the ages before, first was the agricultural age, and then the human race are developed into an industrial age. So during the industrial age, there was the era of factories, big establishments. For the manufacturings to survive, they had to have employees. And for the employees, they need to have a set standard of education. That's how the schooling system started. And that's how in schools we were really taught to be a good employee for an employer. It is being said that employment is a product of industrial age. And now after, if you look at, things changed. Every business slowly by slowly migrated into internet, and by the explosion of internet and the information age, new technologies are emerging up across the globe. When you closely observe from 2000 to 2020, digital revolution has already happened. So I'm talking to you with a digital device or digital medium. You're also listening to me in a digital medium. So that's how information got disrupted. So as employment was a product of industrial age, so for the digital age, entrepreneurship is going to be the product. But we have a limitation. What's the limitation? We, at least people those who have 30 plus, we are born in industrial age and we are brought up, or right now we are into digital age. We have a confusion which teaching we need to take up, because teaching we carry is of an industrial age. So it's very difficult for a person like me and you is to get digested with digital age teaching. That's why if you look at millennials, or people, or the children who are in 10s and 20s or 25s right now, they are very tech friendly. They are born in digital age and they are brought up in digital age. So it's easy for them to understand mobile phone, any technology that is coming to them. They are into digital age. That's why they are into the mobile games. So they are into gaming industry. They are into applications. They are into social media. They are into anything and everything that related to technologies. It's very easy for them to digest than we. So I would say we are in a dilemma of picking the right path towards. So that's why, being a product of industrial age, it took me a lot of effort to understand what is going around us. I came to conclusion that even though employment that survived the human race for the last 40 to 50 years, but now I realize it's time for the end of employment. I would say not the complete end of it, no, but the actual development is not going to happen with employment. That's why the modern companies, the tech companies, they don't consider formal education qualifications anymore. They just need the skill. If you are skilled, you get job. So hereafter, it's the skill, not the qualification that matters. By saying that, I'm not devaluing the education around us. No, we need a basic education to understand our world around us. We need education to understand the numbers. We need education to understand how the society functions. We need the education to understand human behavior. Previously, education was intended only on employment. Right now, things has changed. I'm saying this also because not by intention, we are connected. The entire globe is connected. It was not there before 10, 20 years. Because everyone is connected, the definition of the business also changed. So when you look at business in early ages, some of the technical jargons that comes to your mind was investment. You need expertise and experience. You need human resource to handle a business. You also think about the overhead expenditure, capital. And when you think about business, it was just a local, for it was never global. But now it has all changed. Anyone who has an attitude, who is willing to change, can be a business owner today, can be an entrepreneur today. And I would say it's a must. People will realize it only through the hard way sometimes. When you balance opportunities of being an employee, opportunity to be an entrepreneur, when you compare it, when you do a SWOT analysis, you will always give weightage to be an entrepreneur. I'll just note out some of the points. What do we do as an employee? I know 90% of the people are today surviving on unemployment. And obviously, there is an employer to employ you as an employee to do their business. We need to understand every employee is taking care of someone else's business, isn't it? That's funny, but we don't think about business as they think. That's why we still remain as an employee. Okay, now let's think about an employee. Any employee gets paid as per the hours he put in work. So there is a limit because we have only 24 hours. And we have a personal life, we have a family life, we have a spiritual life, and there comes a professional life. We won't be able to dedicate not more than 12 hours a day to any job. In countries like Canada or developed countries, they have a set standard of 40 hours per week for an employee. Or even if the employee allowed you won't be able to work more than 24 hours a day. And just because of this, you have the limitation for your growth and you have the limitations for your earning potential. And any employee for that matter, is easily replaceable for an employer. It's not the person that is important. 95% of the people are replaceable, easily replaceable, because they're just looking at qualifications or skill sets. That's it. It can be X or Y. So there is no sentiment for an employer on an employee in most of the cases. So that's a limitation. And you have realized in this pandemic, no sentiments is there for any company to keep an employee when the company itself is in trouble. They'll have to say goodbye. And the next point is there is a retirement for an employment, for sure, which means the hours that you put in for 40 or 50 years in an organization or in multiple organizations is being a waste once you're retired. There's no residual income on the hours you put in. There may be residual income if you are good enough in investing and you have invested on some assets while you were working or while you were earning money. As an employee, it's a limitation. It's being a cliche. An employee has to obey his boss, whoever. And just because of all these things, this guy as an employee, there is no time freedom. Obviously, there is no financial freedom. These are very commendable limitations of an employee. But what is the opportunity? If you are qualified enough, you have certain skill levels, you get employment, you can survive. You will survive. You may be having a better standard of living than a person who is not employed well. Always like that. You compare with less skillful, less qualified employees. When you compare that, you may be having a better lifestyle. That's it. But if you seriously look at it, an employee will be very difficult to match upon a business owner in all this time freedom, financial freedom, anything of that sort. That's why the future is not for an employee. Future is for to be an entrepreneur. In just one sentence, any of these limitations that I commented right now for an employee, all of them are covered to be an entrepreneur. You can work your own time and you have the opportunity to leverage your hours by the help of other business partners, other entrepreneurs. And nowadays, business is any business that you look at it is global because all the businesses are driven on technology. The terminology local has now become global. You can do both local and global, sitting in your room, using your technology. And if you seriously look at it in a business perspective, and the same skill set that you use to exist and survive as an employee over a period of 2 to 3 or 5 years' time, it is very good enough for you to excel as a global entrepreneur by using same skill set and by using the technology around you. So think about it. When you have a positive outlook about entrepreneurship or the business, investment is not a matter, or the experience or expertise is not a matter. Human resource is not a matter. Overhead expenditure is not a matter. You can build from scratch with just your attitude. By finding people with the same mindset, same attitude, you could fly together as a group of entrepreneurs. If you find this video meaningful or informative, just comment it. Let's be global. Thank you very much. You have a good day.